The good people at Spectre Digital asked me to check out their new drum library, Icon Drums Classic Rock, so let's dive into the plugin. So the guys at Spectre Digital have released a new plugin. It's called Icon Drums Classic Rock, and we're going to dive into everything that is in this drum plugin. I've used all sorts of different drum software, so it's fun when I get to see new ones that come on the scene and see what they have to offer. See if they have new sounds, new experiences, new ways of working in your workflow. So we're going to dive into the plugin. I'll show you all the different features that are included and then give you my pros and cons. Although they did supply me this plugin, all the thoughts and opinions are my own when it comes to the functions of this plugin itself. Okay, so let's dive in a little bit into the Icon Classic Rock drum kit. Now, you just heard that playthrough. That was kind of like a more classic-y rock inspired 2000s rock song. So I chose the 2000s rock kit. And there's a number of presets here on the left. You can see there's about 14 presets that comes with the kit. And I've messed around with them all. They all sound pretty good. We'll go through a few of them here so you can get a feel for what kind of drum sounds can be created in this plugin. And then we'll go through some of the different screens, such as the mix screen. There's actual plugins that you can throw on individual tracks, which is pretty cool. And there's grooves that comes along with it. So I'm going to solo the drums again. And then we'll just go through and play through parts of this track. So this is the 2000s rock kit. Let's go ahead and solo it. Okay, sounds pretty good. I mean, that's got a nice direct sound, big sounding snare, definitely very modern sounding, but yet having some of that vintage feel, which I do like quite a bit. Let's check out this 90s alt kit. Icon Drums comes in Contact, the free Contact player. So if you don't own Contact, that's fine. You can just get the free player. Comes loaded right in with it. Let's check out the 90s alt kit here. I do like that. And I like that high-tuned snare sound. It gives it a lot of cut. Very nice sounding. All you need to do to load the presets is double click on them on the left here, and they load up in just a few seconds. So this is the 90s alt kit 2. What's also really cool is if you hit the star button here on the right, you can favor a preset or if you click on the preset on the left, if you just do a quick double click, it'll actually give you a preview of the kit. Very cool. Nothing I've ever experienced in another drum plugin. So you can get a preview of what the preset is before you even load it on. And so that's happened to me before where I've created a drum preset sound and then I accidentally load another preset and I don't even remember what I had in the previous one. You can preview it and go, nope, don't want that one, don't want that one. Yes, I want that one. So I think that's kind of a cool feature. I'm loading them because you get them at full volume. You get a feel for it in the mix, but that's a very cool feature that isn't in any drum plugins that I'm aware of. Let's go to some more vintage ones here. Here's the massive rock kit. Let's see what we've got here to experience. So you can see the loading bar at the top there. All the presets load pretty quickly. That snare just sounds massive in the best way possible. Not too pokey, but just has a lot of beef to it. That's a snare sound that I absolutely love. Let's try out the modern punk kit. See what that has to offer here. That kick has that attack that I like, but the toms have a nice room sound. Very well done. Very good sounding. Let's try the oh yeah. What is oh yeah? I think I'm a little too curious here. We gotta see what this one is all about. I love that vintage sounding kick drum. You gotta love that. Let's try Roomy Classic Kit. And then let's do the last one here. Let's go to warm and boomy. See what that one sounds like. So that one's not as roomy, but has a nice low end punch. I think that's a great combination there. What I'm liking about these sounds so far is it's, a classic rock drum kit, but you can also get modern sounds. So you're not limited so much by what's given in the kit. Like if you get other expansion packs from other drum companies, it's very themed to that one kit sound, which makes sense. But this is, themed to classic rock, which fits me perfectly. But you can get great modern sounds out of it. So it's very, very versatile. If you come to the different pieces here, you can load in any snare sound. Let's go back to I really liked the modern or massive rock kit. Let's go to the massive rock kit. Let's load that one up. And let's play around with some of the drum pieces here. So this is what it sounds like again. What if I swapped out the snare? So you can see there's 5 total snares. That's the Ludwig Superphonic. I love Ludwig Black Beauties, low tuned, can sound massive. Let's see what that sounds like. Incredible. Looks like there's quite a few kick drums here, about 9 or 10 kick drums. Let's try this Pearl reference kick. That's got a lot of beef there. Couple hi-hat choices, couple cymbal choices included, some crash choices, so that's very nice. And then there looks like the 6 tom choices of the shells. So let's swap out a few of these toms, see what we end up getting. Just for fun here. Oh, and they even have some towel-coated features, so very, very cool. So that one had a lot more top end. Very cool. I like the variety here on this kit. Let's go to the shell mix now. Let me turn this down just a little bit. Now, there is a mixing tab. There's the shell mix and the cymbal mix. So it's nicely divided between the two. You can mess with the rooms. There's even a hall fader, it looks like. Hi-hat ride, FX cymbal, and overhead. And for the shells, we've got beater, 91A, the kick in, kick out, snare top, bottom, and 3 tom mics. I think that's a good way to divide it up for a drum kit. I want some of that beater. Let's bring this fader up. So we can solo individual faders. Very, very cool. And if you click on the individual channels, you can see that there's basically like a channel strip for each one where you can mess with EQ, compression, saturation, and you can turn them on and off. Very, very handy. So they have like an SSL style EQ, another standard EQ here, transient designers, saturation, compression. This is kind of everything you need to get a great drum mix inside the plugin, which I think is really cool. And you can even mess with the pitch of the drums. Very, very nice. I'm very much a fan of that. You can enhance the plate reverb. So if I want a more reverb on the, snare or whatever, I can add that. Let's see what that does. Very, very nice. I do like that quite a bit. Let's enhance the halls and rooms. Let's see if we can get a really roomy drum sound out of this. Ooh, that sounds great. What's this Glenn J mic? I'm going to solo it here. It's like another sort of mic in between where the kick and the overheads would be. Very, very interesting. But I loved when I boosted this room and hall. I mean, that room just sounds incredible. That sounds great. I absolutely love that. This drum library is really impressing me. And if there wasn't anything else to add on, there's even grooves included with the drum library. It looks like we've got about 9 different tempos, 100 BPM, and some beats included, which is a very nice touch because a lot of times drum libraries, they won't come with beats at all, and you're just kind of stuck using other libraries, or it makes it really hard for it to be your first drum library because now you have to go buy a MIDI pack somewhere else. But now you do get some included MIDI here as well. Let's drag and drop one of these in. This song is about 70 BPM, so let's add in a 70 BPM rock beat here and see if these really kind of work. Yeah, those sound excellent. We can drag it into the DAW. You can mess with the MIDI map as well. So if you don't like how things are set up MIDI wise, you can go ahead and change that here to match your E-kit or whatever you're used to working with here. And then there's even settings for controlling the velocity of the different hits. They've really thought of everything in this plugin. And I think it's one I'll have to use a little more in the future. So what are some of my final thoughts on this plugin? This is a really, really solid drum plugin. I am very skeptical of new amp sim drum plugins that come out because there seems to be a million coming out a year. They're all the same. They all do the same thing. But I really was impressed with this one. I liked the sounds. It's modern, but you can also have a classic sound, and the controllability in the mixing tab felt tailored to me. I liked how I could just boost the rooms, get a roomy sound. No need for plugins, no need for routing because you can do it in the mixer, which I think is great. You know, I do like sometimes routing out my DAW using my plugins on it. But when I can get the job done in the mix tab of that drum plugin, I much rather prefer that. It keeps my DSP down. It keeps my presets nice and tight. And I do like that it was able to do that. There's a number of kit pieces. And for the price of this plugin, I'm quite impressed what actually comes with it. Yes, the Groove library isn't extensive, but you know, for what comes with the plugin in terms of sonic capability, you know, you can't really ignore that. And I think that a lot of plugins that come with massive drum libraries, they're much more expensive. So this is very competitive in that sense. In terms of the cons, I think because it's in Contact, it's just a little clunky in that regard. So it's not really a knock on the plugin itself. It's more my personal issues with Contact and how annoying it is to use it because it takes a while to load and sometimes it will crash and things like that. So in terms of it being, in terms of the cons of the plugin, yeah, I don't like having things in Contact, but it was the free light easy player, which I downloaded. And then I load the plugin up. The plugin loads pretty quickly. It's not really taxing my CPU all that much. So, you know, in that regard, it's not going to be too bad, but I don't like that, you know, to a degree, having to load up that Contact player. So not a direct knock on the plugin, but something to consider if you're going to purchase this thing. In terms of other cons, like the Groove library wasn't ultra impressive, but I don't really expect that for the price of this plugin. You're really looking for drum sounds with this thing, which I absolutely got. I think with the sounds, it sounds very, very good. A lot of the presets, though, even the classic ones, still kind of have that more drier, modern sound that we're getting. I was expecting more classic rock taste for it being called classic rock. It gave me a lot of variety for sure, and I'm not really going to complain too much about it, but I felt like it would be more vintage themed, but it is more overall themed. So you could say that's even a pro, that there's a lot of variety to this thing. But in terms of my opinion, a lot of pros with this thing. It sounded really good. I think I'm going to start using this in my productions and mixes because it is so versatile in that sense. I do like the mixer tab there. So go ahead in the link below if you want to check out this drum plugin. You can see it in the description if you would like to purchase it or check it out. If this review was helpful in any way, please like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you have this drum plugin or if you have any questions about it. I'd like to help you guys out to give you the best tools to create your music. Thank you so much for watching. Anyways, I will see you guys next time.